All right, in this video, I'm going to show you how to create a watermark in Photoshop to add to your images. So we're going to go ahead and create a new file. So I'm going to go to New File, and I'm going to name it my name and then watermark. I'm going to size it 500 pixels by 250 pixels, RGB color, transparent background, and then hit create. All right, should look like this, right? So nothing is in the background. I'm gonna go ahead and change my background or my foreground color to black. So I'm gonna click here and pick black so you can see what I'm doing. And then I'm gonna go to my type tool right here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type out what I want my watermark to look like. Usually it's your name. And then I'm gonna stretch it to fit. And if you want to add like photography at the end, you totally could do that. If you want to get clever with your name, you can. So what if I went like this and then stretch this out a little bit? Oh, that's clever. See what I did there? Okay. All right. Something like that. All right, you could also do something like this. Let me see. So it's completely up to you. This is your watermark. However you want to put it on your pictures is your choice. So if you wanted to make this different, change the font, have fun with this, right? Like you're supposed to be creative. Okay, I don't know why this is not working. All right, let's go with something a little bit more simple. Now, obviously, we're not making a logo, but you could get to that point. We might get to that point later in the year. We're just going to go with this one. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And then I could like put a line here using my pen tool. Let's give it a color. Smaller. It's completely up to you. All right, so this is your watermark. So if I wanted to do something like that, I totally could do that. Okay, I'm going to try to move this up a little bit. There we go. I don't want to center them. Okay, looks good. All right, so there's my watermark. Now what I need to do is I'm going to save this because you're going to turn this file in so I can see it. So we're going to go to File. We're going to go to Save As. We're going to make sure that we're putting it in our photo folder. Photo class, mine's titled photo class. And then make sure it's titled watermark. You're going to make sure the format is a Photoshop format and hit save. And then we're going to export it as a PNG file. So we're going to go to File, Export, oops. And when I export it as a PNG, what's going to happen, it's going to keep that transparent background. Okay, so if I were to change it to a JPEG, what happens is it gives it a white background, and I don't want that, right? So I'm just going to hit save, and then, wait, let me go back. Export. I did quick export as PNG, which is totally fine. And save. Okay. All right. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make a brush out of this. So every time you go in, it'll just be there, and you won't have to go searching for it. Okay. So to make a brush, you're going to go to Edit, Define Brush Pattern, and it should be named whatever you named it when you first opened it, and hit OK. All right. Now what happens is I'm going to go to my picture. Okay. And I'm going to go to my brushes, which is right here. I'm going to go to Brush Tool. You might have to look for it. Okay, so I'm going to have a whole bunch of brushes in here. You guys only have a couple, but it should be at the very bottom of your layer stack. It's right here, okay? And then if I come over here, I'm going to enter out of this. I can create a new layer. You always want to create a non-destructive layer when you're putting anything on your images, okay? I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Mine looks bigger than what it's really going to stamp it. I'm going to change my color to white so you can see it. And then you can put it anywhere. You can put it here, you can put it in the middle. wherever you want to put it. If I were to put this on Instagram, obviously I would put it in the middle because it's going to crop it. And well, Instagram's got a new thing where you can do all sizes now. So it really doesn't matter. Okay, so I have my layer. I clicked and I stamped it on my page. And now what I'm going to do is change the transparency or how see-through it is. Okay, so I want it to be a little bit softer or lighter. So what I can do is come right here where it says normal, and I can go through these and you can see how it's going to change. And this might not work because my background is black. So these things change the appearance of your brush depending on what your background color looks like, but mine is black, so it's not going to work. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to go to where it says opacity, and I'm going to drop that down to like, I don't know, 15%. I don't like my watermark super bright, so that's good enough for me. All right, and then now you can go and you can save this. I would probably keep a new separate folder. I'm actually going to export it as a JPEG. So I'm going to change my format in here to a JPEG, hit export, and I'm going to put it in my Google Drive, but this time I'm going to go ahead and give it a different name. So when I'm naming my photos with watermarks, if you want to create a new folder and name it watermarked images, that way you're not destroying your your original files. That might save you some headache. Okay, so save as, I'm going to name this moon and then watermark, WM for watermark, and then hit save. All right, so now if I close this out, I don't want to save my original, right? Because I don't want to destroy my original image. I could save it as a Photoshop file, but I'm not going to, because I have that brush and I can come back and I can stamp it anytime I want with any photo I want. So if I go to open recent, let's see what happens. I don't know if I have any photos on this. Let's see. Let's click on this one. Okay, so let's click on this white one. So that brush I made, it was white, right? So if I go back to my brushes, let me show you a little trick. And I go to the new brush or the new layer and I click, it's going to be kind of hard to see, right? Especially when I lower the opacity of it because it's on a white background. So what I could do instead of doing it white is I could change the color of my brush right here in my color picker, and I could come pick a color and hit OK. And when I stamp, now it's the color of that brush. That is an option as well. Okay, so your brush is defined by that color that you choose and your size. So to make it bigger or smaller, your bracket keys, your left bracket on the keyboard will make it bigger, your right bracket will make it smaller. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, again, this is your work. You are in control of it. Nobody can tell you right or wrong way. People will say, oh, but it should be white. Who cares, right? It's a watermark. It's for your protection. All right, and again, I would not save this as a flattened file. If you want to save this completely like with a watermark on it, you could save it as a Photoshop document and then export it as a renamed file. All right, so that's how you create a watermark in Photoshop. Go ahead and I want you to turn in your files that you made from the very beginning. So these files, right? And then maybe watermark one of your images and add it to the assignment as well. So turn in your Photoshop file of your watermark, your PNG file of your watermark, and then a watermarked image that you have taken.